Okay, guys, it's matchup preview time. Feeling good, feeling strong today. I got my assistant Wrigley over here helping out today. We're going to start off with me and John. You know, John and I have a friendly rivalry in fantasy. I win some, he wins some. He's got some really good players and some really tough matchups this week. Juju at Jacksonville is tough. Obviously, Doug Baldwin against anybody is tough because Doug Baldwin's awful. But Russell Wilson at home against the Packers tonight could be a big one for him. And of course, since I just said that about Doug Baldwin, he's about to go for $150 and 2 touchdowns. Connor and Mixon normally would scare me half to death, but they're both playing at Jacksonville and at Baltimore, two of the toughest matchups you can get. And their counterparts are facing Saquon Barkley against the Bucks at home, and Alvin Kamara at home against an Eagles team that just got torched by Zeke Elliott, who's nowhere near on Kamara's level. So I'm going to go ahead and give myself the nod here. It's going to be a tight one. I'm going to get back in that win column, get this win against John. So bold prediction for this one. Let's see here. What could I do for bold prediction? Okay, here's one. The Washington defense goes negative for John. That is a horrible, horrible play. They're a very bad secondary, and they're facing Nuke Hopkins, Demaryius Thomas, Kiki Cutie's back. It's a bad play, John, but, you know, whatever. Hope you roll with it. There you go. The handcuffs versus Steve drops the bell. So we have Rich versus Steve, Merz's boyfriend, Steve, in a grudge match here. Two guys that just do not get along, just hate each other. The hatred is palpable. Like, you can feel it in the air in this matchup. And, you know, Rich has kind of a makeshift team. You know, he's got Aaron Jones, his probably his big star. Sammy Watkins. I like Sammy Watkins a lot this week. I love Tariq Cohen at home against the Vikings. The Vikings are one of the worst teams in the NFL at covering receiving backs. Tariq Cohen over 450 yards receiving already. I expect him to put up about 80 yards through the air, probably a touchdown. Dak Prescott at Atlanta is a sneaky good stream this week. Love it, Rich. On Steve's side of things, his entire team hinges on Breeze and Thomas. The rest of his team is a dumpster fire. Keenan Allen's not doing anything against Chris Harris in Denver. Chris Harris, of course, I'm sure Steve doesn't know this because he doesn't watch football, but Chris Harris is the best slot corner in the NFL, and guess where Keenan Allen lines up? So Keenan Allen's not doing anything in that game. I expect them to not even look for him. This is going to be a game where Keenan Allen's going to get 4 or 5 targets. That being said, my bold prediction here is that Tyler Boyd is going to go without a catch. No, he's going to get 0. He's going to goose egg you. He's facing at Baltimore against Jimmy Smith. They're going to roll coverage to him on top of that. So not only is he getting a corner that shuts down wideouts that are way better than him, they're also going to be focused on stopping him. So until A.J. Green comes back, Tyler Boyd is absolutely unplayable, especially in a tough matchup. 0 spot. Rich gets the W this week. Go get him, Rich. I love it. Steve's going to hear a lot of pizza trash talk. Now, on to Steve's girlfriend, which is Merz. Merz, who has named his team Buzzsaw. I don't know what that's about. Maybe he's buzzsawing his way through his Grindr app or something like that. But he's going to be facing Do It for the Cup, which is, of course, Reese, who has some extra motivation this week to win this game for his man, Cooper Kupp. You know, you look at this matchup on paper, and since Merz completely tarted out and traded away Dion Lewis, he's got nothing but Peyton Barber, who's dinged up at the Giants, and Peyton Barber is trash. Horrible play any given week, but you really don't have a choice. There's nothing else out there. Julio Jones is in a tougher than you think matchup against the Cowboys. Byron Jones has been awesome this year. Andrew Luck has been on fire, but the Titans have been on fire. They're one of the best defenses in the NFL. Great real-life defense, horrible fantasy defense, in case anybody's wondering. So that being said, love Odell against the Bucs. Hate Tevin Coleman against anybody because he's a garbage running back. I don't like the look of Merz's team this week, and especially facing Reese with all those Rams at home against the Chiefs. Alshon Jeffrey against the Saints. Fournette's playing the Steelers, who he just owns time and time again. You got to give the edge here to Reese. Reese is going to win this game. So my bold prediction here is that Jared Goff is going to outscore Andrew Luck by double. He's going to double up Andrew Luck. So there you go. Reese getting the W. Steve's girlfriend goes and cries into his Cheerios, gets the loss, and begins his chase to the GD, or potentially, I think more likely, he's going to be the cupbearer next year. So then we get to kind of a funny story. So we got Jared, who's not again, versus Lutz Trey Whitting, which is, of course, Joe. And you can't help but feel for Jared a little bit. I mean, the poor guy makes some right moves, and he still just keeps losing. I mean, he's scoring points. You just some people are just destined to lose. And Jared, you seem to be destined. You seem to be a natural born fantasy loser. That's just what you are, man. It's time to accept it. So we got Cam Newton and McCaffrey at Detroit. Great matchup for Cam and McCaffrey. I expect Devontae Adams to do just fine against the Seahawks tonight. They shouldn't do too much to slow him down. Arizona's defense, sneaky good defense at home against the Raiders, who are just giving up. Have you seen what the Raiders have done on the road this year, too? It is just ugly. They're horrible. So on to Joe's side of things. I hate the Steelers' defense play at Jacksonville. I know what you're thinking. Oh, Bortles will probably throw a few picks. Bortles might not attempt a pass. Leonard Fournette owns the Steelers, and he's going to run wild on them. Adrian Peterson is absolutely unplayable. Shouldn't have him in your lineup. Corey Davis is on your bench. Get him in there. AP needs to take a back seat. Marlon Mack, I straight up hustled you. He's awful. Marlon Mack's a terrible running back. He's got a really bad schedule. He had 2 good games against super easy opponents. Sorry, dude. You're stuck with him. Got to play him. You're stuck. However, I expect Zeke to go bananas against the Falcons. My bold prediction here is Zeke is going to put up $150 and 3 touchdowns in that game, en route to Jared continuing his losing ways. And Jared's going to lose. He's going to score over 100, and he's going to lose anyway. And on to the matchup of the week. We have King of the North versus Nothing to See, Carry On. So senior versus junior. I mean, you look at Pat Mahomes and what he's been able to do in this season. It's insane. They had him originally projected at about 29.5 points. They've since dropped that to 22. I think they had it right the first time. I mean, 29 plus. I think it's kind of a gimme in what's going to be an absolute shootout against the Rams. Senior's got some good matchups. Melvin Gordon at home against the Broncos is a great matchup for Melv Gore. So Melv Gore and Kareem Hunt should probably cancel each other out. I expect David Johnson to have another good game against the Raiders. It's fool's gold, though, because that offense is still trash. Travis Kelce is a huge positional advantage for Senior, just huge. So my bold prediction in this one is that the Green Bay defense goes negative tonight. It is never a good idea to play the Green Bay defense. They're really bad. They're just bad. It's a stupid idea. It's going to be a shootout. Bad idea, dude. And behind that, Senior's going to get this W because Mahomes, Hill, and Kelce are going to go bananas. And there's not going to be anything Junior can do about it. I expect Adam Thielen to be bottled up by the Bears, maybe 50 yards, no touchdown. The Bears are they're ferocious. I don't want any part of playing against that defense. Obviously, you're not benching Adam Thielen, but it's going to be a rough go. And what's the logic behind playing Tyler Lockett against your own defense, you dope? I don't understand what you're thinking about. So, all right, well, there you go. So Senior gets the W, and that is it for your matchup previews. I will see you guys for a recap, or maybe if Steve does something really stupid again, I'll just do another video on that. See you guys on Tuesday.